Hey everybody, Michael back on the Archangel. Thanks for stopping in. Hope everybody's hanging in there. Today I want to do a presentation on the Socratic method, mind control and indoctrination. This is based off of the book where I learned about the actual nomenclature for the Socratic method, 1L. That's kind of what brought me to do this presentation. Kind of put a whole bunch of pieces together in my head, and I thought, whoa, this is part of a much bigger agenda that's been going on for many years. Maybe somebody will have appreciation for the work that I'm doing here. So in the book 1L, this is the turbulent story of the first year at Harvard Law School. When I was back in college studying criminal justice, I had aspirations to possibly go to law school one day, and always wondered, what is it like, and this book kind of gives you a general idea. It's basically hell. The book almost brings back, gives me chills reading it. It reminds me of just all the studying, the tests, the cold calling from the professors, everything. Just very, very bad time if you're a student, I guess, in college or law school. But anyways, the book talks about this Socratic method, which is was I guess one of the deans at Harvard has pioneered this. It probably goes back to Socrates and Plato. Plato is actually Socrates' student, and they developed this method where basically you beat your opponent, or you win your debate by asking a series of questions, rhetorical questions, and like I said, this is done to basically break you like a horse. I want to start off by saying that if you're an attorney, a lawyer, basically one of two things had to happen. Either one, your daddy is a country club goer and he paid a lot of money for you to go there, and you're going to conform to every little thing he says because you've been doing that your whole life because you're, a daddy's boy or daddy's girl. Number two, you are several $100,000 in student loan debt and are not going to have a choice but to conform because you're either going to default on your loans or deal with the harsh reality of them coming after you for the rest of your life, and they will come after you like vampires. There's only three things they can garnish your wages for: child support, taxes, and student loans, to my knowledge. The book, like I said, it emphasizes the environment of everything. Basically the 1L stands for first year law school, are put into this environment where they're, scared to death. They have no idea how to do legal research. They have these huge assignments. They have, huge tests. These professors, they cold call you every day. Every once in a while they call you and put you on the spot and grill you. And that's the whole point, is to terrify you and scare you and indoctrinate you into a system that has been in place and that it still is in place. And it's not a good system, folks, in my opinion. I guess these people think it works. For the people at the top, it definitely works. For everybody else, I guess you're constantly chasing the carrot. They keep you going. So the whole thing with asking the questions is highly efficient. I actually knew about this long before I read this book. And if you want to win an argument, a surefire way to do it, and you're right. If you want to win an argument, you're right, even if you go up against an attorney, a doctor, anybody, the best way to win is ask questions. Just ask questions that they're not going to want to answer. Here's my sign. I actually got quite a bit of use out of this before all the major protests were going on for Trump. I took this down to the White House. I took this to the Capitol building. I took this to Trump National. Met some amazing people. Had classes of students stop me and thank me. Had mothers with their kids stop me and thank me. It's an amazing, rewarding feeling when somebody actually stops and teaches their kids a lesson from what you're doing. So I ask questions. How are we going to make America great again with $23 trillion in debt? He lied. Those promises that paid off. He's only increased spending. I know he's not going to want to answer that because he knows that we can't make America great again if we have trillions of debt and keep increasing it. Where are your offshore banking interests? Are they in China? Are they in Russia? Are they in tax havens? Why won't you release, your financial records? I don't know if he's come forward with some of the information, but real shady. He's the only president that hasn't released them, and he doesn't want people to know about that he doesn't pay taxes like everybody else, that he has shady dealings, how much money he actually has, where it is, it goes on and on and on. Embezzlement, organized crime, Who is he funding? Connections to the Zionists. How many of your country club friends are pedophiles? And it goes on and on. The whole Epstein thing, I'm not even going to waste my time right now getting into that. It makes me sick. I hope that Ghislaine Maxwell, she grills everybody when she gets on the podium. She's really the only one that is in a position to be able to do so. And then, the last question I had on here, what have you done in 3 years, to deserve re-election? $14 an hour jobs, build a wall with our money, not Mexico's. Lied about a whole bunch of other stuff, artificially stimulate the stock market. I'll just be thankful if we have the election and, that our democracy prevails and we can get rid of this clown and move on and basically learn a valuable lesson as to why we should not ever again elect a narcissistic billionaire to the highest office of the land. I want to segue this whole Socratic indoctrination into what I think is going on with coronavirus. So I want to stop right now. If you're still with me, you're one of the very few people. Either you're a government employee that, is investigating me, or you're, a lost soul that I guess found my channel somehow. But I really believe that there's already biological and nuclear warfare going on that they're not telling us about. I've actually thought about this. I tried to get out of the country. Shortly after I did, things started to fall apart. It's at this point, it's all a smoke and mirrors game for our stock market to be at all-time highs. It's really, really a joke right now. It's like they want people to keep going to work. Everything's good, but they start with the indoctrination. First, you have to wear a stupid mask. Okay, then you have to social distance from everybody and keep your keep away. And, they don't want you to talk about what's really going on. So that kind of plays into that too. It's like taking our rights just straight from us. Then, next, it's going to be cash. We can't have money anymore. Oh, so you have to have a microchip now. We know this. And like I said, it's basically some limp dick white Freemason men that have, that want to control the world. It's like the song Tears for Fears, everybody wants to rule the world. You have the Chinese and the Russians, Root China, I call them. They're big enough military-wise and from a geographic size that they basically could take over the whole world. Then you have the European Union and NATO. Then you have the Saudis and the Muslims, and then you have the Zionists connected to the UK and the Roman Catholic Church, which is the head of the United States basically. If you're still with me, just know that we are the 99%. Where they are wrong is only allowing a small group of people to have this absorbent wealth. Even if you do have it at this point, ask yourself in your heart, is this right? Is this what God has intended for humanity? There's deeper agendas playing out with the human cloning. It really, really makes me sick when I see these little Ukrainian, Russian, Polish looking girls, with some older guys or some people that they never would be with. They're basically like property at this point. It's really, really sad. I met a gentleman about a week ago. He has a production company, and I'm considering in the future, if I'm ever funded enough to be able to do that, to actually move forward with some full-scale, production quality videos. Probably the first one I would like to do is on Arlington, Virginia, pedophile rings. I think I have enough content, and I could do some really interesting work bringing that to light. This is stuff that nobody talks about whatsoever. And it's I've single-handedly identified where all the pushback is here. You could say this is part of the eugenics programs that have been going on for years, but it's not about money anymore. The elites have all the money that they want. It's all about control. And like I said, they have to do it. They can't just come put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. They have to basically take control slowly. And it's through this indoctrination of things like they teach at Harvard Law School, where your politicians and everybody else want. It's like we F you in the ass, so then you get to F other people. And please, forgive my analogy there, but that's basically the premise of the whole entire system. So don't fall for this BS, folks. Stand for your rights, and don't be afraid to get loud. It's perfectly normal to get loud when something is bothering you. And we have a lot of crap that we're dealing with right now, and I don't think between now and Election Day anybody feels like dealing with any more. Thank you. God bless.